How about some help with small business? Because the water on this stuff just really gets muddy. And if you're curious about it, we've got the guy that can answer the questions. It's Dr. Jeff Standridge. He's got experience with Axiom. He was there. He's helped with startups all across the world. He's the author of any number of books, and I've got one right in front of me called The Innovator's Field Guide, and I refer to this quite often. It's got great information in it. And Dr. Standridge, good morning to you. How you doing, sir? You doing all right?
Good morning, Kevin. I'm great. How about you?
Doing fine. If there's one guy that can make this stuff understandable, it's you. I mean, you have a gift in being able to take some of the complex things that are out there and really make it just easy to understand.
Well, I appreciate that. There are a lot of people out there that can do that as well, but I appreciate the compliment.
Well, we got you, so we're going with you. How about that?
That works.
All right. With what's happened in Congress, we had that first loan program that came through, and a lot of mom and pops, that was kind of the spirit of it. They wanted mom and pop businesses or smaller businesses under 500 employees to be able to get some of these funds to remain open and help continue employment with some of the publicly traded companies. It didn't quite go that way. The bucket got emptied too quickly. Another one that went through Congress, the president should be signing off on that today. But what do we know about that program? And if I'm a small business owner, if I'm in that situation, help me understand what I need to know.
Well, the first thing you need to know is that you should get with your banker today, literally get with your banker today. The Paycheck Protection Program loan, which is the one that the vast majority of folks are going after, and it's the one that's got $310 billion allocated toward it from the second round. It had about $349 billion allocated from the first round. The first round ended up being depleted in about 14 days. But here's the interesting thing. 74% of those loans were less than $150,000. So the vast majority of them did go to small businesses of probably 12 to 20 employees or so. But this second round, because there is some pent-up demand and there are applications that didn't get funded the first time around that have been building up, so to speak, it's expected that this $310 billion will go very, very quickly, and it will be made. The loans will be made through your banks, so get with your banker today if you were not funded the first round.
All right. What if I'm a business owner and I started this thing from scratch? I never had a loan. I just built it and it continued to grow. And I'm hesitant to get into something like that, but I'm in a position where I might have to. Any words of advice there?
Well, the vast majority of the Paycheck Protection Program loan can be forgivable as long as 75% of the loan proceeds are spent on payroll and payroll-related expenses. Now, you can spend an additional, the remaining 25% on things like rent, utilities, mortgage, interest, but 75% of it has to be spent on payroll-related expenses. And there's deferred payment on the loan for 6 months. So my encouragement is for you to go ahead and apply for it and get it. And if you end up not needing it, not needing all of it, spend what you need on the things that you need, apply for forgiveness, and then pay back the rest.
It's Dr. Jeff Standridge. He's with the Conductor in Conway. He's a business expert. He knows his stuff. If I'm a business owner and I'm looking at this stuff for the first time and it's deer in the headlights, I mean, I know you said call my banker, but am I going to have to do things too? Am I going to have to go to the SBA? Is my accountant going to have to get involved in this? What other steps are there in this thing?
It's a relatively easy application process, and your banker will be very well equipped to help you through that process. We've had some really good success with Arkansas bankers, particularly, literally doing yeoman's jobs of helping the small business owners. There are a few documents you're going to have to pull together, like your payroll forms, your payroll tax filings, your income tax returns. There's not going to be proof of collateral that you're going to have to provide or anything like that. It's a relatively streamlined process and application process. So be glad to help if anybody needs to reach out to the Conductor at arconductor.org. They can schedule time with us, and we can help them figure out. There are also some guides on our website as well that can show them precisely what they need to be able to start pulling together.
Right. I mean, you're very connected in the business community, and as you've talked to business owners and managers, what are some of the obstacles that people are having right now with operating their business, with what's going on, overhead expenses? Kind of explain some of that and what options they have.
Well, the vast majority of what people are experiencing is reduced volumes. People are not out and about so much, Many of the businesses, the direct consumer-facing businesses that are more intimate types of consumer-facing businesses, have had to shut down by order of the government, and so they're experiencing issues with just reduced volume. Some of the more innovative businesses have found ways to do curbside service and online shipping or online ordering and shipping and what have you, and so that's the biggest challenge. Another challenge that I've seen small businesses that we've addressed those questions specifically is, if I have to lay off some of my employees because I just don't have the work, am I being unethical or immoral? And my response to them is absolutely not. If you've got work and you can keep your folks gainfully employed, and if you can get the Paycheck Protection Program and keep them gainfully employed as well because of that, then that's fantastic. But we really have to take a long-term view of the business here, and we're trying to maintain business viability for the long haul. Sometimes that means you have to figure out how to reduce your expenses. But that's one of the challenges that I'm seeing as well.
I mean, that's got to be crushing to a lot of managers, especially with a family business and a mom and pop. Sometimes it's not all about you. And I go back to my history. My family had a business when I was growing up, and the employees become more than employees. They become an extended part of your family. And to be able to tell them, look, I can't pay you, that's just a killer for you.
That's right. And what I have recommended to small business owners that need to do that is, if you've got some money and you have to lay them off, make it easy on them to apply for unemployment. Do a little bit of research and find out precisely what they need to do. Run the numbers and calculate for them kind of what they can expect from unemployment to help put their mind at rest. And if you can give them a little bit of a bridge payment of a week's pay or whatever you can afford to help tide them over until unemployment can start, that's a way to do it compassionately and the way to treat, as you say, a member of your family or someone who's become like a member of your family.
It's Dr. Jeff Standridge. He's a business expert on this one, too. Okay, they're talking about, slowly reopening things here. Mm-hmm. And if I'm a business owner, what do I need to be doing now to prepare for the other side and get ready for this?
Well, obviously, you need to be thinking about handling any demand. If they're going to start reopening, is your business in the area or in the which stage of reopening will your business come into play there, and when can you start anticipating increased demand, and making sure that you have the stock available. A lot of business owners were selling out of their stock and not replenishing because of the knowledge that volume was dropping and they were going to be shut down for a period of time or going to close their doors for a period of time. So beginning to anticipate what that volume might look like, what are the most popular items, what are items that people are going to be needing to the greatest degree, and then making sure that you have ample supplies of those within reason, of course, because, again, trying to manage inventory to demand can be a little bit challenging. So you want to just make sure that you're spending as much time thinking and planning as you are doing.
And what about the protection, too, with coronavirus? I'm thinking about this, especially if you're a business and you've got customers that are coming into your store, and that's probably one of the most of them that have been shut down at this point, too, where you've got active customers coming in. And you know as well as I do, in Arkansas and probably in other places, too, it's like a big, small town. And if you have a customer or employees that get sick, that could really damage your business. I mean, I could see that happening, too. So what do you need to do to protect against that?
Well, all the protections that we've been following over the course of the last 6 weeks or so, I've seen a number of places that deal with the consumers directly have been putting up plexiglass, for lack of a better word, sneeze guards, if you will, in front of their cash registers, having hand sanitizer available and disinfecting wipes, making sure that you limit the number of people that are able to come into your place of business, wearing masks and gloves, taking all of the precautions and thinking about where your customer interaction points are, reducing those interaction points as much as possible, and taking the necessary precautions where you absolutely have to have customer interaction.
Right. Let's go back again to the beginning. If I'm a small business owner right now, and with what's gone through Congress, the steps I need to be taking ASAP.
ASAP is to reach out to your banker. They should be your quarterback. Number two is you can go to sba.gov/coronavirus, and there are a number of descriptions of the programs that the SBA has available. And then finally, number three, go to arconductor.org, click on Let's Talk, schedule a meeting. If you still have questions after that, we'd be glad to visit with you.
He's got a resume that looks like a book report. It's unbelievable. Dr. Jeff Standridge, he's a business expert with the Conductor in Conway. That's where he is. And Dr. Standridge, I appreciate you being on this morning. Thanks so much.
Kevin, thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right.